For me, the NHS is personal. My wife works in our local hospital. My sister was a nurse and my mum was a nurse until she became too ill to work, and the NHS, which had been her livelihood, became her lifeline. And so the NHS runs through my family like a stick of rock. I have to talk to those on the front line and say, the NHS is on its knees, isn't it? And they say to me, no, Keir, we're face down. And wherever you come from, whatever your politics, the issues are there to be seen. Really difficult to get an appointment in any kind of decent time. People waiting weeks and months in pain for treatment. Waiting lists that are far, far too long. Of course I accept that COVID made a hard situation much more difficult. But we're absolutely kidding ourselves if we pretend that it wasn't bad before COVID. The last Labour government healed the NHS, brought waiting lists down and drove satisfaction in the NHS up.
The shortest waiting times in history.
The task of the next Labour government is going to be much more difficult, but we've got to roll up our sleeves and get on with it. There's no time to wait. After all, 7 million people are waiting for healthcare, and that's why Labour's got a proper plan to make sure that you can get an appointment to see a doctor, whether that's face-to-face, on the phone or online. But we can't rely on sticking plasters. We've got to address the root causes. That's why my Labour government will train a new generation of doctors and nurses. That's 7,500 extra medical students, bringing us up to 15,000 a year. That's 5,000 new health visitors, doubling the number of district nurses, and 10,000 new nurses and midwives, so that we can give people appointments and treat people and care for them on time again. Every single one of these training places will be paid for by a simple choice, because after all, politics is about choices. The Tories have chosen to protect the non-dom status. That means that the wealthiest in our society are not paying their taxes here. Labour would scrap that. I believe that a functioning health service is much more important than tax breaks for the wealthiest. I also believe that if you make Britain your home, you should pay your taxes here. So for Labour, it's clear and simple. Nurses, not non-doms. I also believe that prevention and intervention is better than cure. We'll invest in mental health so we can intervene earlier. We will have mental health support in every school. We will have mental health hubs in every community. We will train 8,500 new mental health professionals to treat 1 million more people and to ensure that we can give treatment within a month. All of this will be paid for by closing the tax loopholes exploited by asset strippers. My message is clear. To the millions on waiting lists, to the millions worried about loved ones who are waiting for care, for all of those that want to see an NHS fit for purpose, my Labour government will deliver better care and better value. More doctors, more nurses, shorter waiting times. That's the difference a Labour government will make. That's the difference that Britain deserves.